Daf Yomi Tractate Bava, page 110, top of the page with the words V'im Haya Zakeno Chola. The Braita continues, and if he was old or sick, so that he cannot perform the temple service or eat from the offering, he gives it to any priest he wishes to sacrifice it, even to one not on his priestly watch, and performance of its service and its hide are given to the members of the priestly watch. The Gemara clarifies what are the circumstances of this old or sick priest. If he is in a condition that he is able to perform the temple service, then performance of its service and its hide should be his as well, as the priest that sacrificed it was acting as his agent. And if he is in a condition that he is not able to perform the temple service, how can he appoint an agent? The Braita stated that he may give it to any priest he wishes, indicating that he chooses which priest he will appoint as his agent. Rav Papa said the Braita is referring to a case where he is able to do it with difficulty. With regard to the temple service, where the halacha is that if he performs it with difficulty, it is still considered performance of the temple service. He is therefore able to appoint an agent to do it for him. With regard to eating the offering, where the halacha says that if he eats it with difficulty, it is excessive eating, and excessive eating is nothing, meaning that he does not thereby fulfill the mitzvah to eat the sacrificial portion, he is not able to appoint an agent to eat it for him. Due to that reason, performance of its service and its hide are given to the members of the priestly watch. Rav Sheshet says, if a priest of the priestly watch was ritually impure, then with regard to a communal offering he gives it to any priest he wishes, and performance of its service and its hide are given to the members of the priestly watch. The Gemara asks, what are the circumstances where this halakha applies? If there are ritually pure priests available, then can impure ones perform the temple service, and by extension appoint an agent to perform it in their stead? And if there is no ritually pure priest there, as all members of the priestly watch are impure, is the performance of its service and its hide given to the members of the priestly watch? Even though communal offerings are sacrificed in such a circumstance, the priests are impure and are not able to eat the offering, even though they may sacrifice it. Rava said in explanation, say that they are given to blemished but ritually pure priests who are on that priestly watch, even though blemished priests are disqualified from performing the temple service, and therefore the offering must be sacrificed by impure priests. The blemished priests are permitted to eat the sacrifice, as they are ritually pure. Rav Ashi says, if a high priest was an acute mourner, meaning that one whose immediate relative died on that day but had yet to be buried, and he had an offering to sacrifice on his own behalf, he gives the offering to any priest that he wishes to sacrifice it, and performance of its service and its hide are given to the members of the priestly watch. The Gemara asks, what is Rav Ashi's statement teaching us? We already learned in a Braita in Tosefta Zavachim 11:3, a high priest may sacrifice an offering even when he is an acute mourner, an onain. But he does not eat it during that day while he is an acute mourner, and does not receive a portion of the sacrifice to eat at night, after his acute mourning is finished. It follows from this Braita that since he sacrifices it by himself, he is able to appoint another priest in his stead, and since he may not eat it, it is given to the priestly watch to eat. What? There was a novelty of Rav Ashi's statement? What then was the novelty of Rav Ashi's statement? The Gemara answers, it might enter your mind to say that when the merciful one had compassion on the priest, permitting him to continue serving in the temple even while in a state of acute mourning, it was for him to sacrifice. But with regard to appointing an agent, he is not able to appoint one. Therefore, Rashi teaches us that he is able to appoint an agent, since he himself is permitted to perform the temple service. New Mishnah. With regard to one who robs a convert and takes a false oath, denying having done so, and then the convert dies, the robber, in order to achieve repentance, pays the principal, that is, the stolen item, or, if it is no longer extant, its monetary value, and an additional 1/5 of its value to the priests, and presents a guilt offering to the altar, as it is stated. But if the man has no kinsman to whom restitution may be made for the guilt, the restitution for guilt that is made shall be the Lord's, even the priest's, besides the ram of the atonement, whereby atonement shall be made for him. Numbers 5:8. The Mishnah continues. The Mishnah continues. The Mishnah continues. The Mishnah continues. I think we'll have to do 2 parts of this one. It's getting long. The Mishnah continues. The Mishnah continues. If the robber was bringing the money and the guilt offering up to Jerusalem, and he died before paying the priests, and bringing his offering, the money shall be given to the robber's children, and the animal designated for the guilt offering shall graze until it becomes blemished, and consequently disqualified from being sacrificed. And the animal shall then be sold, and the money received for it shall be allocated for communal gift offerings. If the robber gave the money to the members of the priestly watch and then died before they sacrificed his guilt offering, the heirs cannot remove the money from the priest's possession, as it is stated, and every man's hallowed things shall be his. Whatever any man gives to the priest, it shall be his. Numbers 5:10. The Mishnah continues. If the robber gave the money to the priestly watch of Joyarib, and then gave the guilt offering to the priestly watch of Jedaiah, the following priestly watch, to sacrifice on his behalf, he has fulfilled his obligation. By contrast, if he first gave the guilt offering to the priestly watch of Joyarib, and then gave the money to the priestly watch of Jedaiah, if the animal designated for the guilt offering is extant, is here, then members of the priestly watch of Jedaiah who receive the money should sacrifice it. But if it is no longer extant, because the priestly watch of Joyarib had already sacrificed it, he should return and bring another guilt offering. For one who brings his stolen item to the priests before he brings his guilt offering has fulfilled his obligation. But one who brings his guilt offering before he brings his stolen item has not fulfilled his obligation. Although he cannot sacrifice the offering before paying the principal, if he gave the principal but did not yet give the additional 1/5 payment, the lack of giving the additional 1/5 payment does not preclude sacrificing the offering. We'll stop here, and then we'll start with the Gemara for part 2.